Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm cooking something very simple and yet so delicious. It's stuffed cabbage wraps. Stuffed cabbage wraps are a traditional German dish which I loved since I was a kid, and so I'm going to share with you my grandmother's recipe. The main ingredients are white cabbage and ground meat. The hardest part of the recipe is to peel off all the leaves from this big fella. So the first thing I gotta do is to get rid of the core. And the easiest way to do that is to take a knife and cut all around the core until it loosens up and you can pull it out. So now that I got rid of the core, the next thing to do is to put the cabbage in a big pot with hot salted water and let it be there for about 5 minutes with a closed lid so that the outer leaves can loosen up. So here you can see how easy it is to pull the outer leaves away, but this is just the first round. You might get 5 or 6 leaves with that, and then you have to close the lid again and wait 2 or 3 minutes to grab the next leaves. So this is what I got from the first round, and now I gotta wait for 2 minutes and then I can peel off the next set of leaves. When the cabbage gets smaller, it's helpful when you use a fork or even a knife to just keep the cabbage in place while you peel the leaves off. I needed 15 leaves in total, meaning 3 leaves per cabbage wrap. With the remaining cabbage you could either cook a soup or you could even make a salad from it. And one more thing, you want to make sure that you keep the water because we are going to need it for the sauce. So for the stuffing, I need 1 pound of ground meat, 1 onion, 1 egg, mustard, salt, pepper, and a bread roll which I soaked in milk. I diced the onion and put all the ingredients in a bowl. The bread roll takes about 5 to 10 minutes to soak up all the milk, and then I gently squeeze out all the moisture so that I can spread the bread roll over the ground meat. I used milk instead of water for the bread roll because that makes the meat very soft and juicy. Then I mix everything together and I form 5 meatballs the size of a tennis ball. Now I can start preparing the leaves for the cabbage wraps. I start by cutting off part of the core which is still there in a triangle shape. I do that because that part is too thick and not flexible enough to make a nice wrap. Then I sort the leaves into 3 groups: small, medium and large. So I start with the small leaves and I wrap them around the meatball and make a nice package of it. Don't be worried if your package is not nice and tight, just make sure the leaf is big enough to cover the meatball. When you wrap the package into the next leaf, put the open side down first and then continue to close the next package. The biggest leaves build the outer shell. Again, I put the package with the open side down first and close the last package. My grandmother used to wrap a twine around the leaves to prevent the cabbage wraps from opening up. I have another solution for that, which I'm going to show you. I take a wet cloth and put the cabbage wrap into it. Then I close it and squeeze really hard until I see moisture coming out. What I'm doing here is I press the ground meat in between the leaf layers and the ground meat is working basically like glue and keeps the leaf layers together. When you open up the cloth, your cabbage wrap might look like a little deformed, but one side is still nice and smooth, and the side that got squeezed is going to be the underside. However, the main goal is to have a nice and tight cabbage wrap which doesn't fall apart. So for our sauce we need the usual vegetables, which are carrots, leek, celery and parsley root. I chop the vegetables into 1-inch cubes, and then I take the triangle pieces which I cut it out from the leaves. These are going to go into the sauce as well. Aside from the vegetables, we need 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, bay leaves and garlic for the sauce. I put some sunflower oil into the pan, and I want to make sure that the oil I use is tasteless. Olive oil at this point would be too dominant for this dish. And then I put in the vegetables and toast them for about 5 minutes on medium heat until they have a nice golden brown color. When the vegetables look like this and they are nicely toasted from every side, then I make some room in the middle of the pan and I put in the tomato paste. Before I mix the tomato paste with the vegetables, I roast the tomato paste at least for 1 minute to get rid of all the acid and to make sure that the sauce doesn't taste like tomato sauce. This, by the way, is the same procedure for every sauce I do. That makes the acid go away, and what is left is a nice and beautiful dark brown color instead of red. So after roasting the tomato paste well, I deglaze with the cabbage water that I have kept. I just put in a sip of that water, maybe 100-150 milliliters, which is about half of a cup, and I wait until the water had been evaporated completely. Then comes in the next sip, and I repeat that again. What this is doing, it loosens up all the stuff which is sitting on the bottom of the pan and is concentrated flavor, which makes the sauce extra rich and tasty. So after that water had been evaporated again, I fill up with the rest of the cabbage water and let it boil up. So then I put in the garlic and the laurel leaves and I cover it with a lid, and I can set it aside until my cabbage wraps had been toasted as well and are ready to get stewed in the sauce. I toast the cabbage wraps in a pan with some sunflower oil for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side until they have a nice golden brown color. So then I filled the sauce into a bigger pot where the cabbage wraps fit in, and I filled up with some more of the delicious cabbage water. So here come my cabbage wraps. I put them all in the pot and I let them stew for about 35 minutes on low to medium heat with a closed lid. So after 35 minutes my cabbage wraps are done, and yes, there are some more in the pot. The ones with the toothpick are vegetarian version for my son and my daughter-in-law. And the last thing to do is to sieve out the vegetables and have a nice, clear and rich dark sauce. This is going to be finished up with a thickening agent, which is a mixture of cornstarch and water, and for that I put the sauce in a smaller pot, boil it up and put the mixture of cornstarch and water in zip by zip. So now finally let's have a look on the inside. The stuffing is soft, moist and juicy, and it tastes unbelievably good, just like my grandmother did them. Well, that's it for today. I hope you liked this recipe, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel and you like my content, I'd be happy if you support me by subscribing, and don't forget to click on the bell to not miss out on the next videos to come. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!